Affordable housing headed to a Fort Myers community. Sounds good, right? That's what Mayor Kevin Anderson is talking about in tonight's A Minute with the Mayor. This is a segment where we track the mayor's first 100 days in office to see what it means to you. He tells Rachel Lloyd how this new development of townhomes could help people living in East Fort Myers.
This week, we're talking about housing in the city of Fort Myers. I know just this Tuesday, council passed a development for the Dunbar community. I think it's 140 units going in. Just talk to me about why it's so important to develop in that part of the city.
Well, it's important in all parts, but specifically in that part of the city, because that's where you have some of the lowest incomes. It's important that we have housing that is attainable. For some people, it will be home ownership. For others, it'll be renting. But the goal is to have affordable housing that is decent, livable.
That segues into another question that's on a lot of people's minds. Considering the Dunbar community, I know Jones Walker, we did a lot of stories about that, seeing how people were living there. How will this new development be different from the Jones Walker complex?
When people own, there's a tendency to take care of things, because if you don't, then it's coming out of your pocket to get them repaired. When you're renting, a lot of times it's like, well, the landlord's going to take care of it. Home ownership usually creates some pride in owning where you're living.
And then you also talked about going into your first 100 days as mayor, you talked about having a housing committee. Well, not a committee, but you wanted to put a task force together. Where are you in that process?
I am finalizing that list. I think I have one more person to meet with.
You mentioned that a lot of people who work in the city of Fort Myers may not live in the city of Fort Myers. Moving forward, what other areas of the city do you see the city developing?
Well, we just opened up the Hanson Street extension, which is industrial area. Another focus is going to be economic development. How do we attract businesses who are fleeing other parts of the country, fleeing the high taxes, the cold weather, the traffic, the crime? But if we can attract economic development that brings in better paying jobs, and we bring, as I mentioned, we have the highest percentage of our population in this area of people who earn less than $35,000 a year. If we can raise that up, then housing becomes a little bit more affordable.
Rachel checked with the spokesperson for the East Fort Myers project, who says people are looking to live there and they could receive down payment support and mortgage subsidies as well. So now we want to know, what would you like to ask the mayor? More about this or something else? You can email your questions directly to Rachel, rachel.lloyd, that's Lloyd, @fox4now.com.